Oh, God, I love when justice rolls around the corner. Unfortunately, though, on the case of Iraq war funding, that is not what's around the corner. What's around the corner is yet another, wait for it, Democratic cave-in. They did it again. They offered the president a deal where they're going to go ahead and give him the Iraq war funding, the one that Pelosi and Reid promised that he would not get under any circumstances. He's going to get. And not only that, it's so bad that they say, okay, we'll give it to you, but you got to give us our domestic spending. It's a deal, okay? We got to make a deal here now. Although we promised our voters that we wouldn't make this deal with you, we're going to betray them, and we're going to make a deal with you as long as you give us three things that we really want, okay? So what do the Democrats want? More domestic spending, right? It's $22 billion in domestic spending, and we want to. Now, when we say domestic spending, look, we're going to get to the pork barrel spending in a second. That's not what we're talking about. The domestic spending is like veterans come home, they got missing limbs, and the Democrats want to make sure they're covered, insurance-wise, health-wise, etc. The president's like, I don't know. I'm going to hold those troops hostage unless you give me the Iraq war funding. Those guys that came home, screw them. Who cares? And, I've seen the different proposals, and they're certainly worthwhile things that help Americans, right? And they're like, okay, Democrats say, okay, all right, you're holding the country hostage, so we want $22 billion for domestic spending that we need, right? Now, whether we need all $22 billion is, of course, as always, in any appropriations bill, an open question. Okay, so they say, give us domestic spending. That's number one. Number two, give us the earmarks we really want. That's the pork barrel spending. Please let us spend the pork. It'll be awesome. So they want the pork barrel spending, so that's their second request. Wow, that's very principled. I'm glad you caved in on Iraq for that. And number three is let us take our vacation when we want to. We don't want this thing to drag out. We've got to go home for Christmas, okay? Democrats fighting for principles. And on top of all of this, the latest is that President Bush is going to say no. No deal. He checked with Howie Mandel, and he says, no deal. You're going to give me all the Iraq war funding, and you're going to take all of your priorities and shove them up your ass. I'm not going to give you anything. Now, will the Democrats cave to that? You betcha. I'm talking about the Democrats cave in on Iraq war funding. You knew they were going to do it. We knew they were going to do it. It was just a matter of time. So here's the latest deal. They say, look, we're going to give President Bush $70 billion he wants in funding. And that language that we were insisting on earlier, which was that there needs to be a withdrawal of our troops by the end of 2008, which would be optional for President Bush. Optional. That's too strong. We're going to take it out. He doesn't have to withdraw the troops at all, or even promise to vaguely withdraw the troops. But in return, we're only going to give him $70 billion that he's asking for. He asked for more. Well, we'll give it to him later. But for now, we're only going to give him $70 billion. I mean, what do you want me to tell you? You're embarrassing, dude. All of you Democrats, you're embarrassing. I mean, they gave the speeches, and they did, and we laughed at them, and we were right. They gave speeches about, we are not going to compromise on this. We're going to stand strong and demand the language be in there that they withdraw the troops from Iraq. And we played it here, and we laughed and laughed and laughed. Because we knew they weren't going to do it. We knew they're too weak. They're weak. That's what they are, okay? They say, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you. That's what they are. They're miserably weak. Because they can. They can. They can just say, hey, you know what? I passed the bill. Here's the funding, but it's got a deadline for withdrawal. If you keep vetoing it, then you're taking money out of that we need for the troops, and it's your fault. But they don't have the nerve to do that. They don't have the guts to do that because they're miserably weak. The Republicans are so cocky. Even though they're in the minority, they're like, what are the Democrats going to do? Screw them. Kick them. Give them nothing. They're going to come around and give us everything we want anyway. And you know what? As awful as it is, they're right.